I don't know, we talk about this forever, right? So how's your financing? Do you really take responsibility for it individually? Like, oh, it's my education that's going to do it. And it's too bad you didn't get an education. Now that's why you don't have anything. It's like, I don't know. I think that my particular relationship with the money system is very authentic in that I'm not impressed with it. Um, Something going on with it, right? I think the freest human spirit would say, fuck yeah, I hate it, kind of a thing. Why? Because it doesn't really represent your freedom. But it does help, you know. I like getting her the chicken that she will not eat. I have bought her like 20 pounds, the last 20 pounds of chickens that I bought this cat. She doesn't eat it. Well, I admit I settled for somebody who I did some work for them, and they said, "Well, I'll shop for you if you want. You know, I come down, I come up from the bottom of the hill, and I will get you these things." I'm like, "Okay, toilet paper, and my cat needs food. She eats chicken." And it's like I didn't specify that she needs to eat, and so do you, non-GMO. First of all, she won't eat it. I have given 19 pounds or more, just an example, to the scavengers outside. The cats will, I will show you what I have in the pot right now that they're not eating. I bought them chicken. I stopped buying the non-GMO because I thought, well, I'll cut a corner and they're not eating it. There's a reason that they don't eat the human food. It's because it's poisoned. I hope that my neighbors are listening to this. Did you know you're being poisoned? And on top of it, you're being a poison. And that's precisely the reason why they can get away with poisoning us is because of people like you who live oblivious and you make it more complicating on us on a daily basis that we can't even stick up for shit or even a bead of sweat if we needed it and it was 120 degrees. I have to go to court. And then what are we doing there? I hope you like all the publicity. It's not my reputation. In fact, thank you for the new coat, I guess. I don't know, whatever that is. I make sure that I show up with integrity. And the reason why I go to trial is because my intention is pure. I'll take it to the grave. Fuck it. You people are wrong in doing reactive abuse to somebody who ultimately did the right thing. Yep, I did what I was supposed to do. How about you? Under what fucking guidance are you operating? I say, because I know that there is narcissism, none. You come from no place and you're going no place. You're safe in your bubble of belief, which is just if you put up a fence, then you're protected. Really. Now you put up a camera and you're protected too? Fascinating. But shit happens, babe. You can't control people and you also cannot control stuff that goes on, like how that you're living obliviously, and no matter what, karma gets you, like just the wrath of God gets whoever chooses to be ignorant to the truth. Having said this, God, why did I fucking make this video? I would say if you want to be safe and saved, it just goes hand in hand. Surrender to the practice of the teachings of Christ Jesus. Practice love. Even though there's that money system there, that apparently it says that you're required to do it just to get food. I'm here to tell you that that's a lie. That's probably what the whole scene 2026 years ago when Christ was at the courthouse. At the very least, we recorded that the tax tables were flipped. But if you want to really just think in more less defined terms, somebody said, this coin thing you're doing, fuck that. What the fuck? What if we really needed to come together and be real with each other? Now what? Is that really going to get in the way of us just saying, hey, no, this is a beautiful place. I love that. Man, you're really going to put a dime on water and a dime on food when in fact these things, water, is caught up in a cycle that is forever. It's a circle. whether it does come from the sky and then you bring it back down and you drink it and the bodies go and then more bodies of water are there. It never goes away. It just turns into another form. Did you know that there are mines, wells of water, they're called primary wells on the earth that are primary well springs that, well, unfortunately, people like George Soros and other connections that are non-human occupation, reptilians dancing around in human flesh, it seems, they own, by way of strong arming, they try and own these primary water well sources, and also they're doing the bottling up, and they make sure that the tap water is poisoned. Just in case my neighbors are watching, that's what happened. Uh, they poisoned the Idlewild water. They warned us, by intergalactic rule, they have to tell us, by the way, we have accidentally poured neurologically damaging poisons in your water. And they'll tell a lie, just like you. It's because we do this because we're taking care of the pipes. Yeah, it'll fuck your metabolism up and cause brain barrier problems and neurology. And it's not safe for your animals, but the pipes are fine. And then we say we're paying. We're not really paying for the water. We're paying for them to take care of the pipes. Ah, fucking A, babes. Cut. Time's out. Time's out. In case I didn't. I know I didn't have kids, but did you? I hope you didn't. You want to have kids because you found out that something had made sense, and you're like, I think it's a great idea to pass this on because something actually works here. Anyway, how do you like this fucking comedy act? Minute 7? Where am I from? I'm from the land of I should have eaten this morning. But I'm going through the weirdest thing where it's like, okay, so are you meaning to tell me that because if most people are leaning towards narcissism, which is it's code for they lean towards darkness, man. They do not want to communicate. They aren't a valid or reliable source of witnessing there. Forget it. Hi, Dad. My dad used to talk about it. He used to say, you know what? It sounded condescending, but no, he went around the block, I guess, a few times, and he was a hypnotherapist and a therapist at the same time. And he would say, you know what? No, he would say 99% of people are not awake. Just they are standing vertically, their eyes are open, and they are breathing, but they are not there. He said 99%. And my experience so far, the reason why I find myself alone and I have nobody from the past, because why? Well, I don't think you were there. You weren't there. You're not there now. We're not here now. Something went on, like, okay, so you have an inferior superiority complex because of why? Many, right? You went to too many years of college. You worked more. I don't know. You had kids. Just many reasons why another idiotic asshole would try to work their superiority over another person. Now, I want to tell you a story that's very peculiar, and I want your opinion. I'm not confused about it. I already know the answer, and already know what is righteous in it, but this is my experience. I went to the transfer station, is where we put pine needles in trash, discarding it, and then trucks come and take it away. So in the section where I was unloading my yard pine needles and stuff, rubbish, I noticed, okay, I have to tell you how it worked. There was a truck there with a trailer, and there was another truck that is unloading pine needles. This one truck with a trailer, visibly I can see. I'm driving slow, and I don't know, I'm just highly observant. Pardon me for looking at this, right? But I look, and so it's a man, it's a big man. I almost said big fat man, because he did have quite a peculiar belly. It looked like he's carrying some quadruplets. But anyway, backing off of that, he's in the trailer and he's unloading pine needles. Apparently, he had unloaded one half of the trailer. It's there now outside of the trailer, and there was this kid. He looked to me around about 16 to 18 years old, maybe a little stunted in growth, but he was that old, and he was about as big as his dad. You can tell that was his dad or something. And so, but see, what I saw is that, okay, his dad was in the trailer, he wants to get the pine needles out of the trailer, right? the kid, who I find he's pretty much adult. He has a rake in his hand, and what he was doing, what I saw is what he was doing. He was doing something to the pile outside that was already discarded. He kind of went like this, and then he did a little action like that. Now I think he did it on purpose. He purposely did it to make me see it. I think his dad instructed him to do this. And why I think this, I'll tell you why later. But see, this is what happened though. See, I can see this kid. He was like, see, if I'm sorry, but if I had a so-called helper, if it was my kid or not, and I saw that this person was doing this, short of running a pitchfork through the person's head, I would have just pulled back and said, get in this fucking truck and start pulling the stuff out, because that's what we're doing here. But what I saw was the kid was like, he moved the pile that was already out over with some of the pitchfork. He was on top of the pile, you know, I think, and some of his bangs were hanging down. So I think that they were purposely being this way in front of me and this other person over here. See, I drove up, I saw it, and immediately I thought, oh, that person needs to pull up on that boy and just tell him to get the fuck to work because I don't want to be here all day or something like that. So I got out of the car. I'm telling you exactly what happened, word moment for moment. I have a load of stuff that I would pull. I need to pull out. It was basically a square of stuff. I just jammed it in. I removed a bunch of green bushes and it just assumed the shape of the car. And I'm getting out and ready to do that. Now I noticed, see, there was that scene with the boy and this guy doing that. And then there was this other truck. I pulled right in the middle of them. And I was going to say, I was getting ready to pull out and say, what the fuck you got working for you there? I was going to say something. But, so when I got out and I was being very calm and I thought, well, how is the interaction going to happen? If this kid continues to like take the peaks off of the pile, that you don't need to touch those. You get in there and you keep emptying it out. Anyway, I noticed the guy on this side, he was going like this. He was pointing at the kid and he was going like this, and he looked at me and I was going, and he's going, and so then the guy, the big fat guy with the kid, he kind of gets involved in our energy. He goes, what? Huh? What? What? Huh? And this is what tells me that I think that he purposely set this up like this. He pretty much said, watch this kid. I'm going to go to the, now when we get out, just go and fuck with the pile. Don't do anything. Just be a Dumbo. And watch what happens. Watch what happens with these creeps around us. They're going to tell you that you should be doing this a certain way and that I should be doing it a certain way. Watch. I think that that's kind of what happened. Because it effectively happened. That, okay, I didn't have to say anything. This older guy, oh, he must have been 70 and he was unloading his pine needles. But he was going like this. He was like gesturing. He was like, ah. And he was laughing. And I was looking at, and I looked too, and we were doing telepathy. He was like 20 yards away, more than that. And I said something to the effect of, who lets that happen, or something like that. And he said, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was talking about. And see, by that time, this guy, now, I just want you to assess the situation. This guy is saying, what? You guys are a bunch of rude fucking people. He can do whatever he wants. And I can do it the way I want it. I don't know. He made it a point to call me rude. Because I actually turned around and said, man, you got somebody leaning on the shovel, huh? Somebody leaning on the shovel and watching everybody else do the work. I remember I said, I'm a woman and I'm used to it all the time. I do all the work all the time. Go ahead, lean on your shovel. I kind of said it like that. But he was really, I can tell it was weird. He was adamant about, let's engage now. Let's engage. No, there's nothing I'm doing wrong. What are you talking about? You people are a bunch of, and it's like, and I drove away from there. I was like completely fucking shocked because of the interaction that went. And the guy over there, see, he was agreeing with me, but after a while I was like, well, is he actually agreeing or was he not? I don't know. Because this gaslight going on of this scene. Now, what do you think? I concluded in the comfort of my own yard, like reflecting, is like, no, that person was right. Who cares? Maybe he's so. I'm giving him the credit. I'm like thinking, okay, no, he's new aged, and he says, no, I'm going to set these people up. I don't require my kid to work like a fucking maniac the way that they do, right? Is that what he's saying to us? That no, you guys are programmed poorly. So I'm actually shaking right now, going back to the moments when I was thinking about like how wrong I was to think that person standing with a shovel on top of the pile should have been doing anything that made sense to the person. I don't care if it was their son or whatever. See, I was saying, well, no, I as a woman in Idlewild, that's the fucking common thing. We see that all the time. We're always doing all the work. And the men are like, ugh. And so I was like ducking out of it. I actually put on a very cool smile. I just said, I don't lean on my shovel when I'm helping, or when there's something to do. I don't know. But see, the point too that I like to make, that I'm pretty sure that person, that man, set it up like that. Now, I further thought, like, okay, so, but, okay, what would allow and get that going like that, like, to just be able to be there like that? I would say it was money. I would say that man, he makes so much fucking money that he can just say that. He can just say, no, you guys are wrong. I can make this be any way I want. My kid can stand on the peaks and fuck with it with a pitchfork while I do this, and I can argue and tell you that you're wrong, both of you. And I went home and said, okay, so out of us both, we were both wrong for laughing at that scene and saying, no, you don't do that, and you don't allow that. And I was saying, oh, I'm a woman and I'm used to it. Man, I do all the fucking heavy lifting all the time. I'm used to you fucking assholes. Bye. That was really nice, actually. And I want to stress that he was really wanting to interact. That's what made me think that no, he had to have set that up like that, and it fucking worked. Where I'm at my garden thinking about it for 2 hours, thinking, no, he's right. Though he's right, he can do anything what he wants. Poorly in front of people and drive them crazy. I don't know. So what do you think, babes? Should everybody just fucking shut the fuck up? I guess so. I guess so. Fuck it. Right? Yeah. But see, I'm concerned, and I'm a person that like would think like, okay, so those people, that man and that boy, do they even care to get laid? Apparently he did. I'm wondering how. Was it just because of money? Fucking money. Incubating up a society full of. Oh. Here's where I end this movie by saying, you know what? I am not conditioned by money. So I'm kind of tricky. I don't care for money more than I care for a decent interaction with people and being around decent people, decent presences, people that make sense. I'm just not conditioned enough yet by money to set all of that beautiful possibility that we can actually get along and make sense with each other and be a decent presence with each other and be there for each other. I'm just not there yet. If anybody wants to help me become as vacated as the pumpkin heads over there holding the pitchforks, staging that, okay, so where do they go? What planet do they go to and say, now I'm right, and this is it, this is the way? See, these people are wrong. Well, again, it's not on the planet that I live at because I'm a woman, and I say that person is never going to get laid around me. But see, by just judging, just a quick exit, by going to the DMV, men don't give a fuck who they fuck. And those are narcissists, though. Those are narcissists. The reason why they're fucking something is a power trip. And so if it's pretty, all the more power to them. They like to destroy it. But if it's ugly, who cares? They don't care. Especially if it's going to have your kid. They just, I don't know. They don't have any sense of taste. They don't have any sense of taste. They don't have a good taste. And so what do you think? I'm pretty sure I'm spot on that person staged that. And it's the Aquarius age of, okay, so if you were to get 20 people there, I say if 20 people were there, none of us would have noticed anything. We're too busy. But I drove upon this scene where it was the weirdest thing. It was purposeful that this kid, he's a big kid. These are big, dumpy guys. Sorry, but they were big. And he's at least 17, maybe he's a stunted 20 years old. This is what I'm kind of looking at it. Not as heavy set. He didn't grow a twin yet or something. I don't know what's going on there, but it's wheat, it's oats. You stay away from those because it causes lesions. It causes gut leakage. Your guts are literally pussing, injured, eating wheat and oats. And I think all grains are like this. Stop eating wheats and oatmeal in the morning and watch your belly shrink a few inches in just a couple weeks. Eliminate it all and practice fasting and then treating your foods like medicine. You'll get rid of all kinds of chronic illnesses, and obesity is a chronic illness. It's a problem. So getting back to that scene, I'm glad I was able to talk about this. No, I determined that no, those people are sociopaths. And AI would say, no, you're wrong. You should work more efficiently like that. What is that person? See, it was a question of like, okay, I think one of us was like, said, was that person handicapped or what? Or what is it? Is that a retard you have there? Sorry, see, after a while I thought about it, and really the Aquarian age says, no, it's none of your business. It's really none of your business how that person got laid and managed to have that kid. None.